Taurus liberated. That's the theme of this time. I'm excited to go into the details of the special areas of your life that are looking to see the most freedom at this point. Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my deep dive into the Taurus September 2026 and beyond astrology. This is for Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising, or any other Taurus placements you're listening for. All right, let's just get down into it. There is an expansive liberation crossroads cycle that Taurus has embarked on as of July 2026. We are getting deeper into that storyline here in September. It's one from the level I'm going to speak about first. It's one that will last a year. This is from the middle of 2026 until the middle of 2027. We do have some special quicker moving planets that move along this liberation theme as well, which I'll get to, but I want to start here because this is a big one. Whenever an outer planet, so Jupiter and beyond planets, move across the axis in the chart, which is the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house cusps, that puts people at a crossroads, and you have Jupiter crossing over there. Freedom, liberation, expansion, growth wants to come to your home and family and housing. You may have noticed in recent times you are ready to pitch all of your garbage, do Swedish death cleaning, if you've ever heard of that, just really clearing out that space. And as you're cleaning, there is this sense that you're not just cleaning out your physical space, that you are cleaning out your psyche. This same area of the chart, the 4th house, where Jupiter is expanding now for Taurus, is not only the foundations of your childhood, it's the belief systems and things that occurred at that time that may be occurring in patterns throughout your life. It's the baggage that you take with you that is not good, that you are seeking to resolve. And it's the good things that happened as well. The sweet things, the security, the things that were established for you that are also positive patterns for you. When Jupiter crosses over this, your place out in the world and your place in your home is set for a change. There's restriction that's been going on. There's tension that's been building for a while. And now you're embarking on this process of freedom. Freedom is a subjective word. From one person's perspective and from these Jupiter transits that I have seen personally, freedom can mean you downsize from a hefty mortgage and lots of stuffed rooms and yard to take care of into a small place. And your freedom comes from not being married to the mortgage. Other people upsize, up-level, get into the house of their dreams and feel expanded in their space because of there actually being more space. Others may have kids, grandkids, parents, someone move into your space that expands and enriches your home life. For other people, expansion may mean moving to the country where there's fresh air and animals and foliage. And for others, expansion means moving to a city where there are lots of options and public transit, etc. So I'm giving you these examples, and some of them may be actually true for you because I've seen this a lot. These types of things I'm describing a lot with what's going on for Taurus now. But I want you to understand the energy behind it more importantly than that. Subjective freedom is personal to you. And what that means for you is the process that you are undergoing right now. You're seeking it, you're wanting it, Jupiter's going direct, it's in a fire sign. The fire sign of Leo rules the same place that you're looking to see some liberation this month with the Sun, Mercury, and new moon in Virgo, which light up the 5th house of Leo for Taurus. But Jupiter is in the sign of Leo, so there's a lot of short and long-term energy in the house of Leo or the sign of Leo for Taurus. And that has to do with this expansion in your true love, your romance, your dating scene, your romantic life, your children, your creativity, your passions, your hobbies, your fun, your bucket list stuff. Your creative projects that make you feel bright and shiny and happy. Those are the areas where Taurus is looking most to be liberated right now. Of course, there's always the story of finances. Uranus is there giving you fresh ideas to help you shake off the constraints of heaviness there. May also add some instability. That's a long-term transit. We've been talking about that. I will continue to touch in there as we move through that transit. but it may give you a freshness in how you make money, and there may be some liberation that comes from that as well. If you were holding up something that was not sustainable and you get freedom from it, which gives you some instability for a little while, you may prefer that in some ways. It's not the thing that Taurus tends to like, right? Taurus tends to like the comfortable, the hobbit hole, the things that are sure and safe and comfy. But there is a part of you that's looking to be liberated, and you may notice this in those arenas as well. So as Jupiter moves in through the 4th house, it's opposing the 10th house, which is your career, work, your place out in the world. This axis is also your parents and you as a parent. Important people in your life can come in here besides just parents. And so there's something building and freeing as this occurs. The fact that we've just had a Leo solar eclipse last month that is still influencing now, and we're in the midst of that Leo Aquarius eclipse cycle. Partway through that, started in early 2025, we'll go through early 2028. We're mid-process. There are things getting shaken up there cyclically every 6 months or so from those eclipses. And you may be in the midst of some of that shuffling around now as well. You may be getting ready to move. This could be a great month to move. Buying and selling important things may be occurring this month. We have to remember that we've got the Venus pending retrograde googly lenses on, because starting August 31st, we started the shadow period of Venus retrograde, which will deepen every day in September until it goes retrograde in October. And then when it goes direct, we're still having a post-retrograde. So the rest of this year is covered in Venus retrograde pretty much, which means you may not be seeing clearly. If things are coming to you and they're happening and they're unavoidable, don't worry about it. Just go with the flow. If you're planning things, big money things, you may want to plan some interim things. Like let's say you're trying to move somewhere, maybe go stay a little while, see how you like it, or do a temporary couple of month stint or something. Trying things on is a very good way to use the Venus retrograde because it's great for experimentation. So all of that is going on. I'll get back to Venus retrograde, but I just wanted to factor it in. So the Sun, Mercury, the new moon on the 10th is in Virgo. So that's trining your Taurus placements. That's the most favorable aspect in all of astrology. And that can be breathing life into those areas as well, bringing liberation and helping you to better define what you're doing. And for Taurus, in some ways, being clear, super clear about what you're doing is actually liberation, because most Taurus people I know don't have trouble doing what they're supposed to do. Like, this is what has to be done. Taurus is going to do it. But sometimes being clear about the best thing to do is very liberating, because then you know you're on the right track and you can put your muscle behind it. Okay, so something else that may be liberating this month, in the days around September 26th, really the whole last week of the month, September 23rd on, is very much influenced by the full moon in Aries at 3 degrees. Fullness, completion, fruition, drama, for better or worse, coming to the energy of Aries, which is autonomy, individuality, your unique expression, your physical body in general, your relationship with your body, and very specifically, Aries rules the head, the neurological system, the eyes, things in the head cavity, more or less, ears and all of this. So there may be something noteworthy that comes up, and symptoms are always best to get checked out. But at this time, if something really strongly comes up, it may be something from the unconscious trying to come out to really make it conscious. But specifically for Taurus, this is happening in your house of your unconscious mind. So a great fear, a belief system, genetics. The study of epigenetics is something that is fascinating. I will touch on it very, very briefly, that basically we can affect gene expression with factors that are not the gene themselves. The gene being present doesn't mean expression. There are epigenetic factors that can turn on and shut off genetic expression. So this may be a deep dive for you, a liberation from a health malady, because you come to understand. There's a book called Dirty Genes, Genes. Gosh, the guy's name just slipped my mind, but I think it's the only book with that name. And he goes into a lot of this, which, it's just really fascinating. And you may have some notable things happen at this time, because it's not just this full moon, but also the Venus retrograde cycle is going to play a prominent position in your 6th house of health. So you're standing before some months of excavation where you can really get to the bottom of some things and shore up your health and strengthen everything for the future, which is very exciting. There are many things I can say about Venus retrograde. I think it's the topic I've written most about in all of my public writing, which I have now, because of AI scraping, unfortunately, been moving to my Secret Star Portal at secretstarportal.com. When you subscribe to that Star Portal, not only do you help me continue doing this work, so if you value my work, this is one way that you can support me continuing it, as things are changing very much and other directions are opening for me. I really want to keep this part of my expression. But also in there, you will find a very detailed look at Venus retrograde through the signs, through the houses, the best things to do, the things to avoid, the energies if you or someone you love is born in Venus retrograde. If you're having a baby during this cycle, you'll want to know this. All of that is in if you go to secretstarportal.com. And plus you get earliest access to all of my stuff and exclusive content, etc. So I'm only going to give you a few tidbits now, but very important tidbits about Venus retrograde as we're impending here. High stakes things may be better avoided. If they're not easily changeable or flexible, it's something to consider doing like a flex arrangement or an experiment or something temporary, because it makes it more likely that you'll look back when your Venus goggles are off and say, what was I thinking? If you make a big decision where you're activating this. Like I said before, there's a difference. If something comes to you, then this is just how it is. If you are making the decision and you activate something and use this time with something Venus ruled. Venus rules love and relationships, money and finances, designs, aesthetics, beauty, things we do physically to ourselves, cosmetically, wardrobe, hair, etc. So doing things that are easily reversible are better indicated for this cycle. And if something has a great upside and barely any or no downside, those are the kind of things you want to do. It's a bargain hunter's delight, because unfortunately other people who aren't getting this information that I'm giving you will be giving things away of value right and left, because Venus retrograde can bring up unfinished business in the money sector. And for some people that adds desperation, and desperate selling of things of value will be happening now. So if you're a bargain hunter, you may find those things. Just be careful you don't buy a money pit. That is a very red flag for Venus retrograde. This month may find you creating, planning something that you've always been wanting to do or actually doing it, finding a perfect person for you or enhancing your romantic life with the person that you're with, adding zest to your relationship with children. If you're trying to have a baby, this is a very strong month for forward movement in that department. Mars is moving through Cancer until the end of the month, adding some focus and obsession on home, housing, and family. We already talked about a lot of energy going there from the eclipses and from Jupiter moving there, but Mars moving through the sign of Cancer is also adding some more zest to that. You may be ready to spruce your house up, again with the Venus retrograde, fixing things that need to be fixed, touching up paint, doing a little bit of spruce and getting some new things that you can afford. Perfect to Venus retrograde. Big whole new design where you're doing all of the stuff in Venus retrograde. That's a little bit more of something to feel into, because the odds that you will want to have a different color or different furniture, or different design are more greatly increased during Venus retrograde. So you just have to be careful. If you're really, really, really sure you love it, sometimes things you really, 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 really love come in during Venus retrograde too. So just kind of feel into it that way. And Mars is moving through Taurus's third house. And that is writing, teaching. It has some similar things to the ninth house that we talk about with Sag, which is kind of on a different level. But basically Mercury, which rules the third house, in some way rules information coming in and information coming out. So you learn taking information in. You teach putting information out. You write, you speak. This is also siblings, uncles, aunts, brothers and sisters. The other relatives that aren't covered in already with the family stuff that's going on. There's some extra energy there. This may be a great month to get a new car, a new device. And if you can afford it, that's the thing to watch. It's different than the Mercury retrograde cycle, where you might have to worry more about it not working, or the agreement or contract part of it. For Venus retrograde at this point, you just have to make sure that things not going to be a money pit and that you can afford it. But those bigger items to enhance your transportation and communication, those may be things that come through now. I've given you quite a few dates. If you want my full list of sweet and salty dates, go in another window right now to AnnieHelpsYou.com. Click on Unleashed, put your name and email address in, get the welcome letter in there, click on the archive link, and look for the September 2026 label for the best and worst aspects and dates of this month. Sweet and salty dates, as I like to call them, so you understand how to align your energies with the starry rhythms. If you have a choice of a few days and you see one of my days is flagged as a tough one, you can kind of just use it to navigate around. Sometimes we can't, and that's that. But if you can, it can be helpful. And I do all of my own writing of this newsletter, so you can enjoy a human's touch there. If you are a late degree Taurus, so birthday is like May 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23-degree placements through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Gemini report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. If this is your sun, moon, rising, you can watch my other reports for your other placements and get different dimensions of this month for you. And I'll see you in my next report. Bye.